Your favorite cup of evening tea is actually a masterpiece of chemical warfare. For millions of years, plants have been perfecting complex toxins, silent weapons designed for one simple goal: to survive in a world that wants to consume them. But by a breathtaking coincidence of evolution, these very defenses, in tiny, whispered doses, became our first medicine. Welcome to a space of absolute stillness. Settle in, let your shoulders drop, and feel your eyelids grow just a little heavier. Tonight, we leave the noise of the modern world at the door. We are going to a place where time isn't measured in minutes, but in the slow rise of sap through ancient stems and the quiet unfolding of petals under the silver light of the moon. We are here to speak of plants, our ancient allies who have been whispering their secrets to us for millennia. This isn't just a drink in your cup. This is humanity's earliest memory of healing, born from pure observation and a deep, instinctive bond with the earth itself. In a world that demands constant speed, the botanical kingdom teaches us the art of patience. Right now, there is nothing for you to do. Just breathe. Inhale the phantom scent of dried mint and wild meadows. Let your mind unwind like a vintage silk ribbon as we explore this quiet world, one dream story at a time. Let us begin with the most familiar, those delicate white petals and the golden heart of the wild chamomile. In every cup of this warm infusion, there is a dissolved substance called apigenin. For a tiny insect looking to feast on this flower, apigenin is a potent toxin, a chemical shield designed to paralyze its nervous system. It is the plant's way of saying, "Do not touch me." But for your vast, complex human organism, this poison transforms into the gentlest sedative. As it enters your bloodstream, the molecules of apigenin seek out the exact same receptors in your brain that modern sleep medications target. But chamomile does this with a whisper, not a shout. It doesn't force your consciousness to shut down. It merely brushes against the keys of your mind, dampening the noise of the day and dissolving the static of anxiety. When you brew a cup of chamomile, you are inviting millions of years of evolution into your body. You are borrowing the flower's own defense to create your own sanctuary of safety. Your breath is becoming even steadier now, and the phantom warmth of the tea begins to glow within you, radiant and calm. It is fascinating that chamomile is one of the few ancient allies fully recognized by modern clinical science. Research shows that its aroma alone can lower cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, in just a matter of minutes. Next, we turn to the silver leaves of the willow tree. Long before the white lab coats and sterile factories of the pharmaceutical giants, there was the bark of the willow. This is the ancestor of one of the world's most famous medicines, aspirin. For thousands of years, from the physicians of ancient Egypt to the healers of the freezing north, the bark of this tree was the only refuge from the fire of pain and the heat of fever. Inside the willow's fiber lies a compound called salicin. When you consume it, your body gently transforms it into salicylic acid. It is nature's original chemistry, slower to act than a modern pill, but far more harmonious with your biology. Imagine the willow standing by the water's edge. It is the most flexible of trees, bending with the fiercest storms without ever breaking. It teaches us the art of letting go. As the essence of the willow enters your thoughts, it acts like a cooling mist on a fevered mind. It quietens the inflammation of your daily worries. It tells your nervous system that the battle is over for today. You don't need to be rigid anymore. You can be like the willow fluid, graceful and at peace. Feel the tension leaving your jaw, your neck, your spine. You're becoming as flexible and light as a willow branch swaying in a midnight breeze, drifting, drifting. When you inhale the scent of fresh mint, your body surrenders to a beautiful deception. Hidden within the leaves of this plant is a compound called menthol. For an insect, this is a pungent insecticide, a sharp chemical warning to stay away. But inside your organism, it performs a silent miracle of sensory hacking. Menthol doesn't actually lower the temperature of your skin or your breath. It does something far more sophisticated. It seeks out the specific microscopic sensors in your nervous system, the ones responsible for the sensation of ice and frost. Think of them as your body's internal thermometers. Menthol has a secret key to these sensors. It finds them and gently presses them, bypassing the physical cold entirely. It doesn't need a winter wind. It simply convinces your nerves that the temperature has dropped. Your brain receives a clear, unmistakable signal. It is cool here. It is fresh. It is a beautiful biological illusion. Your body remains warm, but your mind feels the breath of a glacier. This chemical ice tricks your muscles into letting go. Spasms dissolve, and your breathing grows deeper, because the brain believes in this artificial freshness and shifts the body into rest and digest mode. It is fascinating that this is why mint oil is a global remedy for tension, headaches, or digestive stress. It doesn't fight the cause with force. It simply whispers to your nervous system, everything is fine. Calm down. Cool off. Imagine that scent right now. Sharp, crisp, and vibrantly green. Feel it entering your lungs, bringing with it the phantom chill of a midnight forest. The scent of lavender works faster than any pill you could ever swallow. The reason is simple. The path from your nose to your brain's emotional command center is the shortest physical route in the human body, while other remedies must endure the slow process of digestion. The molecules of lavender reach your limbic system in mere seconds. Hidden within these delicate purple blossoms are molecules of linalool. For the plant, it's a way to ward off predators. But for your brain, it is a signal for an immediate ceasefire. Scientific studies show that inhaling lavender physically alters your brainwaves. It shifts your mind from the high alert frequency into the calm observation mode. This isn't just a pleasant fragrance. It is a direct biological command to your nervous system. Slow down. It is fascinating that during the World Wars, lavender was used in field hospitals, not just for its scent, but as a potent antiseptic. It is simultaneously fragile and incredibly strong, a healer of both skin and spirit. Imagine that thick, slightly powdery aroma right now. It blankets your thoughts, just as the evening mist blankets the sleeping hills. Your pulse slows, not because you are tired, but because your body finally feels safe. The world around you doesn't disappear. It simply becomes quieter and softer to the touch. Long before the first pharmacies were built, there was garlic. In ancient Egypt, it was so highly valued that it was used as currency. It was given to the pyramid builders to grant them superhuman endurance, and it was buried in the tombs of kings to protect them in the afterlife. They called it the stinking rose, but they treated it like gold. Inside a quiet, undisturbed clove of garlic, there is no scent. But the moment the plant is attacked, crushed, or bitten, a miracle of biological alchemy happens. Two separate compounds meet to create a powerful defense molecule called allicin. For the plant, this is a potent weapon against fungi and bacteria. For you, it is a master key to your cellular health. Scientific research confirms what the ancients knew. Garlic cleanses the blood and fortifies the heart. It is a warm remedy. It speeds up your internal circulation, bringing a subtle, comforting heat to your extremities, like an invisible blanket for your circulatory system. Even now, just thinking about that sharp, grounding aroma, you feel a sense of protection. It is the scent of a safe home, of a warm kitchen, of resilience. Your body feels fortified, strong. Your internal systems are quietly at work, shielding you while you rest. You don't need to be on guard anymore. Nature is doing the work for you. Let the warmth spread from your chest to your fingertips, heavy, safe, and still. If chamomile gently brushes the keys of peace, then the Valerian root acts like thick, heavy velvet curtains drawn across the windows of your consciousness. Hidden within this humble, earthy root are acids and essential oils that know how to speak directly to your brain's primary braking system when you feel exhausted. Yet, your thoughts continue to run in endless circles. Valerian helps your neurons finally fall silent. It doesn't force you into sleep by power. It does something far more sophisticated. It increases the levels of gamma-aminobutyric acid in the synapses of your brain. This substance is nature's own stop signal for unnecessary impulses. Imagine your internal radio, which has been broadcasting news, to-do lists, and anxieties all day long, suddenly begins to grow quieter and quieter. The static fades away until only a clean, profound silence remains. It is fascinating that the ancient Greeks called valerian by the word foo because of its sharp, earthy scent. But behind this strange aroma lay such potency that medieval healers believed it could tame even the fiercest anger and panic. Valerian teaches us that true strength doesn't always have to be pleasant to the taste or smell. Sometimes power is hidden in the bitterness and the depth of the earth. Your inhale grows longer, and your exhale is complete and free. You feel your body, like a heavy anchor, slowly sinking into a soft, cool sea of tranquility. You can still hear my voice, but it reaches you as if from a great distance, from a world where the noise has finally stopped. If you hold a leaf of St. John's wort up to the light, you will see tiny, translucent dots. The ancients believed these were wounds, but science tells us they are tiny reservoirs of oil. Golden droplets of captured summer. In the West, this plant is known as the natural antidepressant. It is the keeper of the sun. It blooms at the summer solstice, soaking up the most intense light of the year, only to release that stored radiance back into your nervous system when your world feels dark and cold. Inside these yellow blossoms is a compound called hypericine. It doesn't just calm you, it performs a delicate rebalancing of your brain's chemistry. It helps your natural feel-good messengers, serotonin and dopamine, stay active for longer. It is like a gentle hand, lifting the heavy gray fog from your mind and letting the first rays of internal sunlight break through. But remember, this liquid sunshine is potent. It is so strong that it commands respect, teaching us that even the gentlest flower can have the power of a summer storm. It fortifies your spirit, helping you build a wall between your inner peace and the chaos of the outside world. Imagine a warm, golden glow starting deep within your chest, right where your heart beats. It spreads slowly, like a sunset over a quiet field, warming your shoulders, your arms, your very soul. You are safe, you are warm, you are filled with the memory of a long, golden summer day. Let that warmth carry you deeper into the light of your dreams. While lavender and valerian speak to your mind, ginger speaks directly to your body, warming it from its very core. Hidden within its knotted, earth-toned roots are molecules called gingerols. For the plant, these pungent compounds are a chemical shield, protecting it from decay in the damp, dark soil. But for your organism, they are a powerful signal of harmony. Ginger possesses a remarkable ability. It knows how to block specific receptors in your brain and gut that trigger feelings of nausea and internal discomfort. It effectively shuts off the SOS signals sent by an overworked or overwhelmed nervous system. It is fascinating that ginger is one of humanity's oldest travelers. For centuries, sailors carried it across the oceans, knowing this route could defeat seasickness and calm the stomach even in the fiercest storms. But its magic goes deeper. Ginger gently dilates your blood vessels, encouraging your circulation to flow more freely, bringing vital warmth to your fingertips and dissolving the internal shivers caused by stress. Imagine that sharp, spicy aroma right now. Feel how it warms your throat and chest, spreading through your body like a soft, golden wave of liquid sunlight. Your internal storm has passed. Your center is calm. The warmth is heavy, steady, and safe. Let it carry you deeper into the stillness. The Latin name for this plant, salvia, comes from the word meaning to save or to heal. In ancient times, it was believed that sage could grant a person longevity and even divine wisdom. And while that sounds like a legend, modern biochemistry has found a profound truth hidden within those velvet leaves. Hidden within sage are compounds that act as protectors of acetylcholine. This is a vital neurotransmitter in your brain, responsible for memory and the ability to concentrate. Under high stress or with age, this messenger begins to fade, and our thoughts become tangled like old threads. Sage works as an invisible restorer. It slows the breakdown of these neural connections, helping your mind remain clear, sharp, and resilient. but its magic goes beyond the mind. For centuries, people burned dried sage to cleanse a space of negative energy. Today, we know that its essential oils possess potent antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. When ancient healers filled a room with its smoke, they were performing a deep disinfection of the air, neutralizing invisible threats. Think of that, a single plant that unites physical purity with mental clarity. Its aroma is herbal, slightly bitter, and profoundly deep. It doesn't force you to sleep. It simply clears the clutter from your consciousness, leaving room only for what truly matters. Your breath is steady. You feel your head becoming lighter. Your thoughts organize themselves into a calm, logical order. The static is gone. There is only clarity, and in that clarity, you find rest. Among all the secrets of the forest, none is as shrouded in myth as the ginseng root. The ancients called it Ren Shen, the man root. They saw in its twisted, human-like shape a profound message that this plant was created specifically for us. For thousands of years, it was more than medicine. It was a treasure more valuable than gold, a gift reserved only for emperors to grant them superhuman resilience. In the modern world, we call ginseng the king of adaptogens. It is a biological masterpiece. Unlike other plants that simply sedate or stimulate, ginseng is a master tuner. If your system is overwhelmed, it brings you down to peace. If your energy is depleted, it gently lifts you up. It doesn't fight against your body. It teaches your cells how to handle the weight of the world without breaking. Hidden within this ancient root are ginsenosides. These molecules are like invisible engineers for your nervous system. They balance your adrenal glands, the source of your fight or flight response. When you invite ginseng into your thoughts, it acts like a stabilizer for a ship in a storm. It silences the internal alarms that have been ringing all day, telling your heart that the journey is safe. It is fascinating that a ginseng root can live for over 100 years in the quiet dark of the soil, gathering strength from the earth. It knows the secret of patience. It knows that true power is quiet. Feel that steady, grounded energy now. It isn't a surge of heat. It is a calm, deep-rooted strength. Your breath is deep. Your pulse is rhythmic and slow. You are as stable as the ancient mountains where this root grows, safe, balanced, ready for the deep, restorative silence of sleep. Next, we turn to a root that carries the very color of the sun, turmeric. In its native lands, it has been called the golden goddess. For thousands of years, it was draped around the necks of healers and kings, not just as a spice, but as a protective talisman. Today, we know that this vibrant gold is more than just a color. It is a biological shield. Inside this earthy, intense root lies a compound called curcumin. For your body, it acts as a master regulator. In a world that is often too loud and too hot, curcumin is the one that brings the temperature down. Science now confirms that curcumin can communicate with your DNA, telling your cells to strengthen their defenses. It doesn't just help you rest, it helps you rebuild while you sleep. It creates a golden shield around your cells, protecting them from the oxidative stress of the day you've just lived. Imagine the scent of turmeric, now earthy, woody, with a hint of ancient sunlight. As it enters your thoughts, imagine a warm golden light flowing through your veins. It reaches your knees, your hands, your lower back, places where the day's tension has settled. The fire is out. The inflammation is gone. There is only a steady, radiating warmth. Your body feels heavy, protected, and incredibly soft. You are wrapped in a golden cloak of safety. The world is far away. Your cells are at peace. Sleep in the glow of the sun, deep, deep. There was a time when cinnamon was more precious than gold. Emperors exchanged it as a sign of supreme favor, while Arab merchants spun wild legends of giant birds guarding cinnamon trees in unreachable nests, all to justify its staggering price. But modern science has discovered something within this bark far more valuable than its aroma. Hidden inside is a compound called cinnamaldehyde. Ancient medicine used cinnamon for centuries to warm the blood and aid digestion. Today, biologists confirm a stunning truth. Cinnamon can mimic the action of insulin in our bodies. It helps your cells absorb sugar more efficiently, preventing it from damaging your vessels from within. Think of it as nature's premier energy manager. It prevents your glucose levels from spiking and crashing, the very process that causes sudden bursts of fatigue and irritability. By smoothing out these internal waves, cinnamon creates a foundation for a stable, quiet nervous system. It is remarkable that the antiseptic properties of cinnamon are so potent that ancient Egyptians used it in the process of mummification. It literally halts the processes of decay, preserving what is vital. When you inhale this warm, woody scent, your pancreas and your brain cells receive a biological signal to stabilize. This isn't magic. It's a fine-tuning of your carbohydrate metabolism, a process our ancestors felt by taste, and we now see through a microscope. Breathe steadily. Let this knowledge of internal stability become part of your peace. Your metabolism is finding its perfect rhythm, calm, confident, and enduring. Among all the treasures in your spice cabinet, there is one that holds a world record: cloves. In the world of modern biochemistry, there is a specialized scale called the Oxygen Radical Absorbance Capacity Index. It is a rigorous scientific measure of a plant's power to neutralize the invisible fire of oxidative stress. And on this scale, cloves sit at the very top. They are, quite literally, the most powerful cellular protectors ever measured by science. The secret of this staggering strength lies in a molecule called eugenol. For the plant, this is a fierce defense system, so potent that it can numb the senses of any predator that dares to touch it. You may recognize this scent from the quiet halls of a dentist's office, and there is a profound reason for that. Eugenol is a master anesthetic. It doesn't just fight off invaders, it silences the signal of pain. But when you invite this scent into your evening space, eugenol performs a different kind of miracle. It doesn't just numb the surface, it numbs the noise of your overstimulated nervous system. It acts as a gentle biological mute button for the thousands of micro-stresses you've collected throughout the day. It tells your cells the battle is over. You are safe. You can stop defending yourself now. It is fascinating that in the courts of ancient China, no one was allowed to approach the emperor without first chewing on a clove to ensure their breath was as pure as their intentions. But they were also sharing a silent gift, a primitive yet effective biological shield for everyone in the room. Imagine that deep, spicy, and grounding aroma right now. It is heavy, it is ancient. Feel it spreading like a protective golden mist around every single cell in your body. Your defenses are down because the guardian is finally on watch. Your muscles are heavy and warm. Your mind is beautifully quiet. Under the protection of the champion, you can finally let go. In ancient Greek, the name of this plant thyme translates as spirit of courage or inner strength. Roman legionnaires would bathe in infusions for a battle, and medieval ladies would embroider the image of a bee upon a branch of thyme on the tunics of their knights. Ancient intuition was correct. Thyme truly helps us breathe deeper and more freely. The secret of its power is a compound called thymol. This is a potent essential oil that the plant produces to fight off mold and bacteria in the scorching heat of the Mediterranean. Modern science confirms that thymol possesses a unique ability to relax the smooth muscles of the bronchial tubes. When you inhale the aroma of thyme, your lungs literally open up. Spasms dissolve, and the microscopic cilia in your airways begin to work more actively, clearing your organism of urban dust and toxins. This is the natural ventilation of your internal space. But there's another, more subtle fact. Thyme is rich in antioxidants that protect the vital fatty acids within the membranes of your brain. What the ancients called clarity of spirit, we recognize today as the protection of neurons from oxidative stress. Thyme teaches us that true calm is impossible without deep, clean breathing. Imagine this dry, sun-drenched aroma of the steppe. It penetrates into the very depths of your chest. Your shoulders drop, your rib cage expands easily and without effort. You feel oxygen filling every single cell, bringing with it that same ancient confidence and strength. What we have grown accustomed to mindlessly mowing on our lawns is in reality one of the most powerful detoxifiers on the planet, dandelion. In every part of the dandelion, from the bright yellow flower to the long, bitter root compounds called thyroxines, are hidden. For the plant, this bitterness is a defense mechanism against being eaten. But for your liver, this is a direct signal to start regenerating immediately. Ancient medicine used dandelion for centuries as a means to cleanse the blood and reduce swelling. Today, biologists explain this scientifically. The substances within dandelion stimulate the production of bile and help your liver break down fats and eucyte, eliminate toxins significantly faster. But there is an even more striking fact confirmed by recent research. The dandelion root contains a polysaccharide called inulin. This is the ideal food for the beneficial bacteria in your gut. It is a natural prebiotic that builds your internal fortress. strengthening your immunity exactly where 70% of your body's protective cells are born. It is fascinating that in many cultures, dandelion was considered a symbol of endurance. It is capable of breaking through the hardest asphalt, and it passes this same energy of resistance to your cells, protecting them from oxidative damage. Your organism, like a complex system of filters, begins to work cleaner and more harmoniously. You feel the excess heaviness leaving you as your internal rhythm aligns itself. Nature provides you with the power for renewal, simply and wisely, from the most ordinary flower at your feet. In the world of ancient herbalism, there is a plant that acts as a silent master of structure: hops. While many only recognize its name through the history of brewing, its true power lies in its ability to build a bridge between a chaotic mind and the architecture of deep, restorative rest. For centuries, healers stuffed pillows with dried hops, flowers, knowing that even their scent alone could pull a restless soul into the world of dreams. The secret of its sedative strength is a unique, bitter acid called humulon. Modern biochemistry confirms that humulon acts directly on the central nervous system. It doesn't just dull your senses, it lowers your internal core temperature. This is a crucial biological signal to your brain that the day is over and it is time for the great repair to begin. Hops is the architect of your sleep cycles. It works to stabilize the transition into the deepest phase of rest, the phase where your body heals itself and your mind cleanses its memory. It creates a structural foundation of calm, ensuring that your sleep is not just long, but profound. Furthermore, hops contains phytocompounds that help balance the activity of the endocrine system during periods of high stress. It calms the internal storm of cortisol, letting your natural sleep hormones take the lead. Imagine the scent of these green, papery cones now. Slightly earthy, slightly citrus, and deeply grounding. Your internal temperature is dropping to its ideal, cool resting point. Your breathing is slow. The architecture of your rest is complete. You are safe within the structure of the night. Since the time of ancient Greece, one plant has been revered as a rejuvenator of the soul: lemon balm. The great physician Avicenna once wrote that it makes the heart merry and the spirit bright. But in our modern, frantic world, its role has become even more vital. It acts as a sophisticated, invisible filter for the sensory overload that defines our daily lives. Modern neuroscience has discovered that this compound inhibits the enzyme that breaks down GABA, the brain's primary braking neurotransmitter. When your mind is racing with 1,000 notifications, deadlines, and echoes of conversations, lemon balm steps in. It ensures your natural internal calm remains active, preventing the overheating of your nervous system. It doesn't just sedate you, it filters out the static. Lemon balm is a master of focus and relaxation. It lowers the volume of external stimuli, bright lights, sharp noises, the relentless flow of information, allowing your brain to return to its natural, steady frequency. Furthermore, lemon balm is a profound antispasmodic. It reaches deep into your solar plexus, relaxing the physical knots created by stress and anxiety. It calms the butterflies in your stomach, signaling to your entire body that the day's demands have finally ceased. Imagine that bright citrus herb aroma now, cool, fresh, and incredibly light. The static is fading. The overstimulation is dissolving into a soft, lemon-scented silence. Your heart is steady, your spirit is bright, yet calm. You are filtering out the world and breathing in the peace. Deep within the ancient hedgerows of Europe and the wild forests of the East grows a gnarled, resilient protector, Hawthorne. For centuries, it has been known as the bread of the heart. Ancient healers believed that this plant possessed a unique kind of wisdom, the ability to harmonize the most vital rhythm of our existence. Today, modern science and international medicine confirm that Hawthorne is a master of cardiovascular balance. In Germany, a world leader in phytotherapy, the prestigious German Commission E has officially approved Hawthorne as a recognized treatment for supporting cardiac function. This is not merely a folk tradition, it is a clinical standard for strengthening the heart muscle and improving circulation. The secret of its rhythmic power lies in oligomeric proanthocyanidins. These potent bioflavonoids work specifically within the delicate tissues of the heart and blood vessels. They act like a specialized tuning fork, helping the heart muscle to contract more efficiently and with less effort. Hawthorne doesn't force the heart to work. It teaches it how to rest while it beats. Think of Hawthorne as your internal metronome. In moments of anxiety, when your pulse quickens and your chest feels tight, its compounds step in to smooth out the edges of the storm. It widens the coronary arteries, allowing oxygen-rich blood to flow freely, cooling the heat of emotional stress. But there is a deeper, more subtle fact. In traditional herbalism, Hawthorne was always used to mend a broken heart. It was believed to create a boundary of safety, protecting the spirit from grief and overwhelm. Today, we call this the stabilization of the autonomic nervous system. Imagine the steady, reliable beat of a drum now, slow, rhythmic, calm. Your heart is finding its perfect, natural cadence. The tension in your chest is dissolving. Your circulation is fluid and effortless. Guided by the wise metronome, your body enters a state of profound rhythmic security. When the heat of summer reaches its peak, a honey-sweet fragrance fills the air, drifting from the heart of the ancient heart-shaped leaves, Linden. For centuries in Europe, the linden tree was considered a sacred guardian of the village square, a place of peace, justice, and healing. It was believed that no one could tell a lie beneath its branches. Today, modern science reveals that this tree of truth holds a profound chemical honesty that helps our bodies return to their natural state of purity. Unlike aggressive cleansers, linden flowers offer a unique, gentle detoxification. They contain a complex of flavonoids, such as quercetin and kaempferol, which act as master antioxidants. In official European medicine, specifically recognized by the European Medicines Agency, linden is valued for its ability to induce a mild, healing perspiration. This soft warmth helps the body release accumulated toxins through the skin, cooling the internal temperature and easing the burden on the kidneys and liver. But the true magic of linden lies in its effect on the mind. It contains essential oils, including farnesol, which acts directly on the receptors of the nervous system. It is a natural sedative that doesn't force sleep, but rather invites it by dissolving the mental static of the day. It gently lowers blood pressure and slows a racing heart, creating a state of emotional transparency and quiet. Imagine the scent of these pale yellow blossoms now, sweet, floral, and deeply nostalgic. It feels like a warm summer evening where time has stopped and all worries have faded. Your body is releasing the heat of the day. Your skin is breathing. Your heart is open and calm. Under the golden protection of the linden, you are drifting into a state of pure, honeyed rest. If the linden and lemon balm envelop you in soft peace, then rosemary is a cold, clear light for your consciousness. Within its tough, needle-like leaves, a compound called cineol is hidden. For the plant, growing on the rocky shores of the Mediterranean, this is a way to survive under the scorching sun and retain its vital moisture. Ancient medicine used rosemary for centuries to revive the senses and banish fatigue. Modern science has confirmed a stunning fact. Simply inhaling the aroma of rosemary increases concentration and cognitive speed. Its molecules are so small that they enter the bloodstream, through the lungs, and directly influence the function of your neurons. Biologists have discovered that rosemary inhibits the breakdown of acetylcholine, the primary neurotransmitter responsible for memory and focus. This is not merely a scent. It is a chemical support system for your ability to focus on what matters, without being distracted by background noise. It is fascinating that rosemary is one of nature's most powerful antiseptics. In medieval hospitals, it was burned to cleanse the air and protect the vulnerable. Today, we know that its essential oils physically eliminate bacteria in the space around you, creating a literal sanctuary of purity. Rosemary reminds us that clarity is also a form of rest. When your brain functions with precision, you no longer waste energy fighting the mental fog. Feel this pine-like, slightly camphoric aroma now. It is like a fresh wind blowing through your thoughts, clearing away everything redundant and dusty. Your vision becomes clearer, and your mind is calm, yet vigilant. You feel gathered, composed, and ready for a new day, even if it has not yet arrived. In ancient Greece, this plant was called the stone of the mountains Petroselinum because of its incredible ability to grow where other plants surrender. Its resilience is not merely a metaphor. Parsley is a biological masterpiece of endurance. Hidden within these serrated leaves is a potent compound called apigenin. For the plant, this is a shield against harsh ultraviolet radiation. But for your body, it is a powerful ally. Modern molecular biology studies apigenin for its remarkable ability to identify damaged cells and support the body's natural processes of cellular repair and renewal. Traditional medicine used parsley for centuries as a potent means to expel excess water and cleanse the kidneys. Today, biologists confirm this scientifically. Parsley contains unique essential oils, such as apiol, that gently regulate the body's water-salt balance. It helps your system shed edema and relieves excess pressure on your blood vessels without flushing out vital minerals. But the most striking scientific fact lies in its density. A small bunch of parsley contains 3 times more vitamin C than a lemon and more iron than spinach. This is a natural superfood that ancient cultures used to fortify the spirit of warriors before long marches. It is fascinating that ancient athletes ate parsley to increase stamina and muscle strength. Today we know why. It is exceptionally rich in vitamin K, which is critical for bone density and the healthy function of the heart's valves. Parsley reminds us that true treasures often hide in plain sight, masked by their own simplicity. Feel this fresh, slightly sharp aroma now. It smells of spring and the awakening of the earth. Your body feels a sense of lightness, as if you have shed an unnecessary weight. You feel your internal energy becoming clean and directed, like a stream of pure water in a mountain creek. The Latin name for this plant, anethum, originates from a Greek word meaning to soothe or to lull. This plant has accompanied humanity for thousands of years, and its magic lies in its ability to subdue the chaos within our organisms. Hidden within its feathery leaves and golden umbrellas is a compound called carvone. For the plant, this is a complex, aromatic barrier against predators. But for your body, it is a potent, natural antispasmodic. But there is another, less-known fact. Dill contains compounds that stimulate the production of enzymes, helping your brain synthesize dopamine. It doesn't give you a sharp spike of joy, but rather creates a stable background of satisfaction and profound calm. It is fascinating that in ancient Rome, dill was considered a plant that brought luck and protection. In reality, athletes and gladiators would rub their muscles with dill oil before a fight to prevent cramps and excess tension. They intuitively felt its relaxing power. This plant teaches us that true comfort begins from within. Imagine this fresh, spicy aroma now. It smells of a summer garden and the morning dew. Your abdomen becomes soft. Tension leaves your internal organs as if a tight thread is being untied. You feel a deep physical peace, rising from the very center of your body to your thoughts. In the world of plants, there is a warrior that stands at the very edge of survival, in the dust of the roads and the heat of the barren steppes. Wormwood. Its name in many cultures translates to unbroken or healthy, but its character is defined by a single quality, an absolute, uncompromising bitterness. This bitterness is not a flaw. It represents the most powerful weapon of the plant and its greatest gift to your organism. The secret of its strength lies in absinthin and artemisinin. It is a profound fact of modern medicine that the discovery of artemisinin, the active compound within wormwood, was awarded the Nobel Prize. While it was recognized for its legendary power to eliminate parasites from the blood, today's science continues to study this molecule for its incredible ability to identify and target damaged or foreign cells. Modern research confirms that the bitter compounds in wormwood stimulate the vagus nerve, triggering a chain reaction of internal renewal. They force the liver and gallbladder to work at their peak efficiency, flushing out stagnant bile and neutralizing the hidden stressors that drain your energy. Wormwood is a premier cholagogue. By activating the flow of bile, it cleanses the blood and improves the absorption of vital vitamins. It literally wakes up a sluggish metabolism. In the West, medical researchers value this plant for its precision as a natural filter for your internal environment. It is fascinating that in ancient times, travelers wore a sprig of wormwood in their shoes to banish fatigue. They intuitively felt that this plant doesn't just cleanse the body, it clears the spirit, removing the mental fog and lethargy that come from an overloaded system. Imagine this sharp, silver-gray aroma now. It is cold, dry, and incredibly powerful. The bitterness is fading, leaving behind a sensation of absolute clarity. Your internal filters are wide open. The static and the heaviness are being washed away. You feel your body becoming light, clean, and resilient. Guided by the bitter truth, you are returning to your true, unburdened self. When the autumn winds begin to chill the air, a resilient protector remains on the thorny branches, glowing like a dying ember in the frost. Rosehip. It is a biological battery designed by nature to store the concentrated energy of the summer sun through the darkest months of the year. This is not merely a fruit. It is a masterpiece of survival and storage. Traditional medicine has revered rosehip for centuries as the ultimate restorer of strength. Today, science explains this with staggering numbers. Rosehip contains 50 times more vitamin C than a lemon, but its true power lies in its synergy. It provides a high concentration of flavonoids, which act as a protective escort, ensuring that the vital nutrients reach your cells in their most active, bioavailable form, rather than being lost in the digestive process. But there is a deeper, more specialized scientific fact. Rosehip is a premier source of galactolipids. In modern sports medicine and longevity research, these molecules are valued for their incredible ability to reduce inflammation in the joints and support the synthesis of collagen. It literally acts as a biological lubricant for your physical frame, repairing the wear and tear of daily movement and protecting the integrity of your connective tissues. It is fascinating that in ancient lore, rosehip was believed to guard the inner light of a person. Today, we recognize this as the stabilization of the immune system. When your internal defenses are fully charged, your spirit feels impenetrable. Imagine this deep, ruby red infusion now. It is tart, warming, and thick with life force. You are plugging into the ancient battery of the earth. Your internal reserves are being replenished. The microscopic cracks in your foundation are being sealed with the strength of the wild rose. You feel a steady, quiet spark of energy returning to your core, reliable and enduring. There is a root that carries the name of the most beautiful woman of the ancient world, Elecampane. Legend says it first sprang from the earth, where the tears of Helen of Troy fell. For thousands of years, from the ancient Celts to the physicians of Rome, this plant has been known as the root of 9 forces, a guardian of the breath and a restorer of the exhausted soul. Elecampane is a true pioneer of biochemistry. It is the original source of inulin, a unique storage polysaccharide that was first discovered and named after this very plant. Modern science values inulin as a profound prebiotic. It doesn't just feed your body, it nourishes the inner forest of your microbiome, strengthening your immunity from the foundation of your gut. While you rest, Elecampane works to rebuild your internal terrain, ensuring that your energy levels are replenished by morning. But its most famous power is that of a lung tonic. It contains powerful essential oils, including allantoin. In Western herbalism, Elecampane is the master of clearing stagnant energy from the chest. It acts as a warming, stimulating expectorant that helps the body expel old shadows from the respiratory system. It strengthens the lungs, allowing you to breathe deeper and more fully, as if expanding the very boundaries of your life force. Unlike many bitter herbs that are cold, Elecampane is one of the few that is energetically warming. It stokes the internal fire of digestion and metabolism, helping those who feel chronically cold or depleted. It is the herb of convalescence, the silent partner that helps you find your strength after a long period of struggle. Imagine this thick, earthy, and slightly floral aroma now. It is the scent of the deep earth and the golden sun of late summer. The heaviness in your chest is lifting. Your breath is becoming wide, clear, and effortless. You are tapping into the 9 forces of the ancient earth. Your internal fire is steady. Your foundation is secure. You are breathing in the strength of the mountains and exhaling the fatigue of the past. High on the sunny hillsides, standing straight and tall, grows a plant that refuses to wilt. Tansy. Its bright yellow flowers look like hard, golden buttons, a symbol of its unyielding nature. Since the days of Charlemagne, it has been planted in royal gardens as a biological shield, a plant that represents Athanasia immortality. The secret of its uncompromising character lies in its concentrated essential oils, specifically thujone. For the plant, this is a chemical fortress that no insect or fungus dares to cross. But for your body, in precise, nature-given doses, Tansy acts as a powerful systemic cleanser. Modern biology studies Tansy for its ability to stimulate the production of bile and support the liver's filtration process. It doesn't just ask toxins to leave, it commands them. It is a master of internal hygiene, clearing out the stagnant residues that slow down your cellular metabolism. Like its cousin, Wormwood, Tansy belongs to the elite family of bitter guardians. These bitters are essential for the gut-brain axis. When your tongue tastes the subtle echo of this plant, your nervous system receives a signal. The cleaning has begun. It sharpens your internal awareness and helps your body distinguish between what is nourishing and what is parasitic. It is fascinating that in ancient times, Tansy was strewn across the floors of houses to keep the environment pure and free from invisible invaders. Today, we recognize its potent antimicrobial and antifungal properties. It is a plant that defines boundaries. It creates a clean, protected space within you and around you. Imagine this sharp, camphor-like, and spicy aroma now. It is the scent of a hot summer noon, intense and purifying. The mental fog is lifting. Your internal barriers are becoming strong and impenetrable. You feel a sense of rigorous, crystalline purity throughout your entire system. The unnecessary weight is gone. You are standing tall, like the golden flowers of the tansy, clear-headed and protected. Yarrow is a plant of mathematically precise structure. Its delicate, feathery leaves are divided into thousands of tiny segments, mimicking the complex map of a capillary network. In nature's pharmacy, this plant is the master of your blood and the architect of your vessels. Hidden within its tissues is a rare alkaloid called accolane. For the plant, this is a way to instantly seal any damage to its stem, preventing the loss of vital sap. Within your organism, this substance functions like a highly skilled vascular surgeon. Traditional medicine has used yarrow for millennia as a blood stopper. Today, biologists confirm this remarkable ability. It can increase coagulation, specifically at the site of an injury. Yet it maintains the fluid integrity of the overall bloodstream, preventing the formation of clots. It is a sophisticated regulation that makes your vessels elastic and strong, preventing them from thinning or leaking. But there is another deep scientific fact. Yarrow contains specific bitters and vitamin K, which gently dissolve spasms in the smooth muscles. It acts as if it is smoothing out your internal organs from within, removing the microcramps caused by chronic stress or exhaustion. It is fascinating that in antiquity, yarrow was believed to mend what is broken. This applied to physical wounds as well as the spirit. When your physical shell becomes whole again, the feeling of being scattered or depleted vanishes. This plant teaches us internal discipline, reminding us that even the most complex system can be restored with structural wisdom. Feel this tart, slightly herbal, and camphor-like aroma now. It smells of cleanliness and order. Your body is becoming a singular, unified whole. Like a reliable, well-tuned mechanism, the internal tremors are subsiding, giving way to a sensation of structural strength and integrity. You are centered. You are solid. Guided by the discipline of the yarrow, you are restored. If the herbs we have spoken of are the sparks of life, then shilajit is the flame itself, preserved within the living rock. In antiquity, it was called the tears of the mountains, sacred esudidae, believed to mend not only broken bones, but broken destinies. Shilajit. Science struggled for decades to decode this substance. Today, we recognize it as a unique geological biostimulator. It is the concentrated essence of thousands of medicinal plants, compressed over centuries in high-altitude caves by the immense pressure of the mountains and the searing heat of the sun. Hidden within shilajit is fulvic acid. In the mountain ecosystem, this compound acts as a transport system for minerals. But for your body, it is a universal key. Fulvic acid is nature's most powerful electrolyte. It possesses the incredible ability to latch onto vitamin and mineral molecules, carrying them directly through the cell membrane and into the very furnace of your cells, the mitochondria. Traditional medicine has used shilajit for millennia as an elixir of immortality for recovery from total exhaustion. Modern biology confirms that shilajit can accelerate tissue regeneration by 2 to 3 times. It instructs your cells to replicate correctly, repairing damage in blood vessels, nerve fibers, and bone tissue with staggering speed. But the most striking scientific fact is its impact on cognitive health. Shilajit prevents the accumulation of specific proteins in the brain that cause mental fog and age-related memory decline. It is the wisdom of the mountains, teaching your brain to be as solid and enduring as the peak of the Himalayas. The great physician Avicenna once wrote, "Only Shilajit saves from death." Indeed, it provides your organism with that superforce when your internal resources are near their end. Imagine this deep, resinous, and smoky aroma now. It smells of ancient earth, warm stone, and primordial power. You are absorbing the concentrated energy of the heights. Your cellular batteries, the mitochondria, are charging to their full capacity. The microscopic cracks in your system are being sealed with the strength of the mountains. You feel a profound, heavy, and unshakable power returning to your core. You are grounded. You are restored. You are eternal. There is a substance that makes the honeybee hive the most sterile environment on Earth, purer than a modern operating room: propolis for the bees. It is the city walls, a powerful resinous armor they create by blending the sap of ancient trees with their own biological enzymes. Propolis. In ancient Egypt and Rome, it was known as the protector of the city. Today, science confirms its staggering potency. Propolis is a complex chemical masterpiece containing over 300 active compounds. Unlike synthetic antibiotics, which destroy everything in their path, propolis is an intelligent defender. The secret of its strength lies in phenolic acids and flavonoids. For the bees, this is a barrier against infection. But for your body, it acts as a viral shield. It prevents viruses from latching onto your cell membranes, effectively locking the doors against invaders. It doesn't just fight the enemy, it reinforces your own cellular borders. But the most striking scientific discovery of recent years is its neuroprotective power. Modern research suggests that the antioxidants in propolis, such as caffeic acid, phenethol, ester, help protect your neurons from oxidative stress. It is being studied for its ability to clear the neural fog and support the brain's longevity, acting like a structural preservative for your thoughts. It is fascinating that propolis is often called the glue of life. It repairs the microscopic breaches in your immunity before you even feel the first signs of fatigue. It teaches us the importance of a strong foundation, reminding us that true health is built through daily invisible protection. Imagine this deep, balsamic, and slightly spicy aroma now. It smells of warm honey, old wood, and the resilience of 1,000 summers. Your internal defenses are being sealed, as if a golden, protective lattice is being woven around your cells. You feel a sense of absolute security. Your body is warm, calm, and impenetrable. You are absorbing the ancient alchemy of the hive. You are strong, you are protected, you are whole. In the harshest corners of the north, where trees cannot take root, a creature from another world thrives: Iceland moss. It does not grow in the soil. It literally breathes life from the pure air and the freezing mist. In ancient Nordic traditions, it was called the lung balsam and the bread of salvation. When a person was fading from exhaustion or a persistent cough, it was this bitter lichen that brought them back to life. Hidden within its silver-gray body is usinic acid. For the lichen, this is a powerful natural antibiotic that prevents fungi and bacteria from consuming its fragile frame in the damp tundra. But for your body, it represents surgical purity. Modern science confirms that oostenic acid is one of the few natural substances capable of inhibiting even the most stubborn pathogens, such as Staphylococcus aureus. It works where ordinary herbs falter, acting as a sanitary cord for your respiratory system and your stomach. But there is another unique scientific fact. Iceland moss is composed of up to 70% lichen, a specialized type of complex carbohydrate that forms a protective mucilage. When it enters your system, this substance coats your internal membranes with a microscopic protective film. It functions as a liquid bandage, healing micro tears in the digestive tract and soothing inflamed bronchi. It brings a state of absolute physical stillness. It is fascinating that Iceland moss grows only where the air is perfectly pure. It is a living ecological sensor. By absorbing its strength, you are inviting the primal purity of Arctic cliffs into your own bloodstream. It teaches us the art of endurance, reminding us that even in the harshest climates, one can not only survive, but thrive. Feel this tart, slightly briny aroma of the sea and wet stone now. It smells of a strength that does not fear the cold. Your breath is becoming absolutely clear. Like the air over a glacier, any internal irritation is fading away. Covered by a soft, protective coolness, you feel your resilience growing. You are becoming as enduring and calm as the ancient lichen on the rock. Nature does not heal us in parts. It restores our wholeness. All the herbs, roots, and resins we have spoken of are merely keys. They unlock the doors to your own internal resources that have always been within you, but were sometimes locked away beneath layers of exhaustion, urban noise, and endless anxiety. Traditional wisdom teaches us a vital truth. A human being is not a machine to be repaired, but a garden to be nurtured. And now your garden is clear. The weeds of worry have been pulled by the root. The soil is nourished by the strength of the earth. And the air is as fresh as a pine forest after a thunderstorm. Science calls this homeostasis, a state of perfect dynamic equilibrium. It is the moment when every cell knows its task, when the blood flows effortlessly, and the brain functions in the rhythm of calm contemplation. This is your natural state of being. Science calls this homeostasis a state of perfect dynamic balance. It is the moment when every cell knows its task, when the blood flows effortlessly, and the brain functions in the rhythm of calm contemplation. This clarity has become your vision. You no longer fear the storms, for you know that within you lies a root that reaches deep into eternity. And now, all knowledge steps aside. Sleep is not a biological pause. It is a return to the source. It is the sacred time when nature takes your daily burdens and transforms them into new wisdom overnight. Now, with your blood purified and your nervous system wrapped in the soft, golden warmth of cedar, sleep becomes your ultimate healer. Thank you so much for watching and for walking this path with me, listening to the whisper of the herbs and the rhythms of life itself. Your attention is the energy that fuels this project. I will say goodbye for now. but only until our next exploration. Remember, nature has the answers. You only need to listen.